You are listening to the Knightline Sports Network, brought to you by Travis Dever and the Dever team, 386-690-1636.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
Welcome to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Night Nation's only call-in show goes live now.
All right. Hello, Night Nation. Hello, Orlando. This is Andrew Phegley, and this is Knightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your New Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. And if you need a new or used car, truck, or Jeep, call me, Andrew Phegley, at 386-736-3000, and I will take care of you. I will give you a $500 discount if you tell me go Knights, charge on. All righty. We're taking your calls as well here, talking about UCF sports at 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326, or you can use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley, AP_Knightline on Twitter. Got Roger Phipps with me this week at Night Bengal from the Santa Rosa. Oh, he's not from the Santa Rosa Beach studios this week because he's sitting next to me. Big Ben is out this week, traveling for business. So you can find all the rest of our content on nightlinesports.com. Not a super horribly exciting week in UCF sports. There was a couple of basketball games, no football. I'm starting to get to the reality that the football season is really close to being over, and I hate this time of the year. I hate the entire time of the entire part of the year where there's no football. So, luckily there's bowl games going on, and we're going to be in one of those playing Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl on the 23rd. So, that's good. And there's a lot of other bowl games to watch. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, they actually started some. I saw them popping up on my Hulu app where some of the smaller bowl games have already started playing. So there's still football for a little while longer. But I am excited about this Florida matchup. Apparently a lot of other UCF fans are as well. UCF reported a sellout, which is exciting. It's a 65,000-seat stadium, and we sold out our half and supposedly in some. So it'll be interesting to see how many Knight fans show up. But it should be a rocking atmosphere for that game against Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that we're playing Florida. Florida, is really having an off year. We were kind of having an off year, so it's perfect. Two teams that were having an off year in a bowl game close to home. I mean, I'm not surprised that it sold out. I mean, it's UCF versus Florida in Tampa. I mean, why wouldn't it sell out? It's right in the middle of both teams, grounds. So yeah, it's great that it sold out. I'm just not surprised. And I don't even think that's special, to be honest with you, selling it out. Gus seems to think it's a little bit special though. It's just as far as like selling out any bowl game. But I mean, that one it's kind of common sense. I thought it would sell out. I mean, whatever.
It's the first time in history, in the Bowl's history, that they have sold out. So
because usually that bowl doesn't have a very good matchup.
Correct.
I mean, normally that's not one of the marquee bowls. The only reason it is because UCF and Florida are playing in it. Otherwise, it would be. I mean, a couple of years ago it was us and Marshall.
Yeah,
nobody wants to see that. I mean, I happened to go there and watch it just because it was easy to get to, but I didn't care that we were playing Marshall, and Marshall, had some fans there. It wasn't crazy. Here's what Gus had to say about it, and especially like the fans.
I think it's good for the state too. A lot of excitement, and I think you can see that with the sellout already. There's not a whole lot of bowls, even New Year's Six bowl games nowadays that get sold out. So I think that really speaks for itself. It doesn't surprise me about our fan base. You got to remember a few years back when the Peach Bowl, I saw it firsthand, and the energy they brought, and the numbers they brought. And so, I'm really looking forward to this, them being on my side.
I like that. Yeah. He's looking, I mean, I don't blame him for, being excited that they're on his side. We're on his side. So absolutely though. I think it's great. It's a really great matchup. I wonder how the Cows, think about that though, because Florida, who destroyed them last season, and us are playing in our second home over there.
Yeah, and the thing about it was they didn't sell out that one either. So even with the Florida fans coming over, they didn't sell that out. So we're going to have a sellout in Rayjay before they do. So against the same team.
That's
so
crazy.
It's just nuts. I mean, if you think about it, it just goes to show you where the programs are and why we got picked up for the Big 12, and they didn't. I mean, they're just and you know what? I'm enjoying every single moment of it. So, but the other thing for me that it really says is hopefully this shows how big of an appetite there is in the state of Florida for UCF to play the Florida States, the UFs, even the Miamis of the world. The last time we played Miami in the Bounce House, it was like 44,000. And I think it was like our second or third highest attended game. So, hopefully this is demonstrating to everyone that it's worthwhile to engage with these 1-for-1s long-term in these games in state.
Yeah, I would think so. We've been clamoring for this game and the rest of those in-state games against, the larger, programs for a long time. So, I mean, it's great. Finally, the bowl gods listened and put us in one together. So we have to win the game, though. We can't go out there and look stupid because we've been asking for it for so long. So a lot of people are going to have to step up their game to win this game, and people are going to have to get healthy. Gus, bowl practice started this week, and here is what he said after the first practice the other day, I think.
We had our first bowl practice earlier. It was good for our guys to get out there and move around. We gave them an extensive break after the last game. It was much needed. We were a banged-up football team. A lot of positive energy out there moving around. Real excited to play our in-state opponent, Florida, in a bowl game in Tampa. And, we're talking about one of the best offenses really in college football. I think they're in the top 10 in most categories. They run the football. And that's really what stands out to me. They not only run it, they run it extremely well. Explosive passes. They've got a defensive line that I think the last few years have been in the top 5 or top 10 in sacks. And they're an impressive team when you watch them on film. It'll be a big challenge for us. I know our guys are extremely excited. I know our fan base is too. And I think it's good for the state. So we're really excited to be in the Gasparilla Bowl playing a very good Florida team.
All right, well, there you go. That's what's going on. He actually talked about his health as well. He was asked because he's been on a little podium on the side of the sideline there for the last couple weeks because he broke his leg when a player ran into him. This is funny. He calls it the tree stand. Yeah. Here's what he had to say on it.
Actually was out there without crutches today, okay, and without the little scooter deal, and so standing up coaching, it felt great. I think the tree stand is behind me. All right, so I really expect to be on the field around that 50-yard line so I can be a normal coach. It'll bring me energy, I'll tell you that. I mean, it'll be like a fresh start for me. That was a tough deal now. I mean, when you do something for 31 years and then you got to change that kind of jacks everything up. At least it did for me. Real frustrating. We did the best we could, but we'll get back to getting in our routine, I feel like.
All right, well, that's good because you could tell that he absolutely hated that being on the tree stand. Yeah, that was bad. So, I mean, I'm glad that we're going to a bowl. Glad that it's against Florida. I just hope that we can go out there and do what we're supposed to against Florida.
Now, Gus said, hey, this is one of the top 10 offenses and all this stuff. There are. It's already been reported that 4 of Florida starters will be out, including their starting quarterback. So they'll have their backup quarterback in. Some of their D alignment, one of them opted out. Another one is transferring. Copeland, who's their starting wide receiver. Now, he may or may not play. There's some debate whether he will, but that could be potentially 5 of their standout starters that may be missing for this game.
Awesome. That's even better. I love it. Yeah. So, of course, when they lose, they're going to say that it didn't matter and they weren't into the game and all of their players sat out, and there's going to be lots of excuses. So, yeah.
I don't care as long as the jorts go home boo-hooing into their jorts. I don't care.
Okay.
One way or the other. As long as they're crying, I'm happy.
Yeah, so that's good. All right, there was a little bit of basketball action yesterday and today. UCF took on the North Carolina A&T Aggies in men's basketball yesterday at UCF. They won 83-68. And then today, UCF women took on Mercer and won 61-47. You were at the basketball game. Talk a little bit about what you saw.
Well, the team was definitely on. It was interesting because after the second half, they actually North Carolina A&T came out in a different style of press, so it took us a few minutes to adjust. It could have been a lot worse than what the final score indicates. But at the end of the day, the team was on fire. Darren Green Jr., he had 18 points. He was hitting it beyond the arc. Brandon Mahan was hitting his threes, so that was good to see him get back in rhythm. Taim Freeman, we've been kind of talking about him. He's that sophomore transfer that came in. He continues his hot shooting. I'm very impressed with what he's doing. So for me, we did what we should have done. We played fairly decent defense. I think there's some learning to be done as far as the traps, because we kept passing. We didn't pass out of the traps when they were trapping on us, and that's what caused us the problems in the second half. But outside of that, I mean, the team played really, really well. Okay.
All right, good. Let's see here. Darren Green Jr. had 18 points. Brandon Mahan, 11 points. Isaiah Adams, 13 points. So it looks like they did fairly well there.
Yeah, the only thing with Isaiah, again, he started off, he was playing early, and he had 4 straight turnovers. So he's still, it's weird. It's like we talked about him regressing a little bit. He's still doing that. But once he was playing in post play and he really stayed there, he did a great job. He was flying all over the court and he was dunking. So, Slam Lando was in full force. CJ Walker had a monster follow-up dunk that was just amazing to watch. That guy can fly and get. Yeah, I mean, I swear he could be like Michael Jordan and pick up quarters off of the backboard. So, outside of that, Isaiah Adams seems to be getting his groove a little bit, which is good because he's just, he hasn't been living up to his potential or what our expectations were after his freshman season. So, he got it together a little bit, and I hope we see more of that. And Jameel Reynolds played really, really well in the time. So he seems to be getting in his groove as well. And if we have 2 big men like that, we're going to be in good shape.
Awesome. All righty. Also coming up on Wednesday this week is National Signing Day, early signing day, which there are rumors that there won't be an early signing day in the future. Possibly they might go back to the February date. So what do you think about that, Roger? Really quickly, because we're almost getting to a break here. What do you think about that National Signing Day if they were to change it back?
I think long and the short of it is, for us as a quote-unquote G5, it's always been an advantage to have that early signing date because they can't wait around and try to fill classes as stuff falls out. So, with us going to the Big 12, it might actually be an advantage to flip back to February. But for now, it's definitely an advantage.
All righty, we're going to take a break here. We'll be right back on Knightline at Night, talking UCF sports and much more.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices, Altamont Springs.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else, New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Knightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
Looking for more out of your Porsche? Look no further than Flat6Motorsports.com. They have the widest selection of aftermarket Porsche parts anywhere in the world. With over 85 product lines and in-depth expertise, Flat6Motorsports.com is your one-stop shop for any Porsche performance needs. Whether you're shopping for intakes, exhausts, suspension, or tuning, they have you covered. Flat6Motorsports.com is the premier Porsche aftermarket specialist. Check them out at Flat6Motorsports.com.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night. This is Andrew Phegley. This is Knightline at Night. We're live from the Denver Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barlaw. I got Roger Phipps here with me, talking UCF sports. Before the break, we started to talk a little bit about National Signing Day, and I think we're going to go on that for a little while here. A lot of big recruits that UCF is not used to getting, like high-profile recruits, class being ranked number 37, was 34. I think a couple people jumped ahead of us probably with some big announcement or something like that, but a really good recruiting class coming in, hopefully most of them coming in on Wednesday. Roger, talk about who you're most excited about here on the list of the commitment list.
Well, that depends on if we're talking about commitments that we feel are coming in or not. We've got
the guy that's on the commitment list that you're most excited about.
The guy that I'm most excited about, I mean, to me, Thomas Castellanos. I mean, our quarterback situation is what it is with DG moving on. You know, I watched his tape. He's a borderline 4-star. Georgia was giving him interest. The guy can run and pass the ball. He fits, I believe, Gus's system a lot better than what we have on the roster. So if he can perform and do what he's doing in high school and college, I think that bodes well for us, and it'll give us an edge in Gus's system. So I'm excited about him. Obviously, QB's always, you know, other than O-line, it's one of your most important positions on the field, and I'm very excited about him.
Yeah, I'm not that excited about him, to be honest with you, because I just don't think he's going to be relevant next year. Hopefully he won't be relevant next year anyway. And his list of interests are weird. It's one of the weirdest lists of interest and opportunities of an athlete that is kind of like, I don't know, kind of high on the radar for us. UCF, Akron, Coastal Carolina, Florida Atlantic, Florida State, Georgia Tech, and Kansas. And that's all that he's been offered by. That kind of, in a way, worries me because he looks great on the field in his high school tape, but then again, he's only being offered by those schools. A couple of those schools have absolutely horrid football programs at the moment. Coastal Carolina obviously is doing good. I don't know about Akron. Florida State's pretty bad, though. Georgia Tech's pretty bad. Kansas is pretty bad. Kansas is my alma mater, and I'll admit that they're bad. So I don't know. I just expected this guy to get some looks from a bunch of other people. The other thing that I don't particularly like about this guy is that he is not very big. He's a 5'11", 190 guy.
Well, that's why I think he's not a 4-star and getting more offers, because I know Georgia had interest. They were about 2 months.
When was the last time that you remember Gus Malzahn, besides being at UCF, having a small quarterback?
That's a big question. I don't remember it. And
I don't ever remember him having a small guy.
Yeah, you had Cam Newton, and then
definitely not a small guy.
Yeah.
When we played him in the
Peach Bowl.
The Peach Bowl, that guy wasn't a small guy.
No, he was 6'3", 6'4". But again, that's the difference between like SEC recruiting and UCF recruiting. We're just not there yet. These are the guys.
No, we've had larger quarterbacks though in the past. We've had taller quarterbacks,
but they also weren't as highly rated. I mean, look at Blake Bortles. Everybody wanted him for tight end.
Exactly, but you know the transfer portal's in here anyway. So. This guy may pan out to be good. He may maybe pan out to be good being, a smaller guy, but I don't know. The interest list worries me for him. And I know I've seen him play. All right, we'll be right back on Knightline, and we'll talk a lot more about this coming up.
If you haven't figured it out yet, I love Tijuana Flats. I would love them even if they weren't a partner with us on the Knightline Sports Network. They have all kinds of great Tex-Mex food, and it's fresh, by the way. Made to order burritos, tacos, enchiladas, chimichangas, quesadillas, bowls, nachos, and taco salads. And if you haven't tried the queso, you are completely missing out. It is the best queso that I've ever had in my life. Absolutely hands down. And the sauce bar that they have, everything from wild to mild in there. Absolutely awesome, awesome stuff. Not only do I love the food at Tijuana Flats, but I love the company, a UCF-born company. And they give back to the community with the Justin Queso Foundation. So head to your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. Hey Jeep Wrangler owners, have you ever sat in your office at work and watched the rain just pour into your Jeep because the weatherman said that there was a 0 chance of rain? Or you put your doors back on because there was a 100% chance and then not a drop of rain fell? Well, there's a company out there that can help take the worry away and give you the peace of mind to be without your doors. The company's called Life Without Doors. They make waterproof rain curtains and dash covers for Wranglers. Life Without Doors is there to help make the decision to leave the doors at home an easy one. Find out more at lifewithoutdoors.com.
Spice up your company with homemade marketing services from Tasty Gravy Creative. Tasty Gravy serves up a menu of budget-friendly marketing, graphic design, and public relations services customized to your specific goals. Co-owned by a UCF graduate, Tasty Gravy can help refresh your brand, strengthen your online presence, or reinforce your company's message. Contact Tasty Gravy for help with your website, social media, marketing, advertising materials, and more. Visit tastygravy.com.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, Andrew Phegley back with you here on Knightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your New Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. And if you need a new or used car, truck, or Jeep, call me, Andrew Phegley, at 386-736-3000, and I will hook you up. If you come into D-Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep and you say Go Knights Charge On, I will give you $500 off of your purchase. So we're taking your calls as well, 844-580-9326 if you want to call us, or you can use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, I'm Andrew Phegley, AP_Knightline on Twitter. Got Roger Phipps here with me at Night Bengal on Twitter. Ben Stout is out for the weekend, and you can find all the rest of our content on nightlinesports.com. We were talking a little bit about recruiting, signing day coming up on Wednesday this week. A big recruiting class for UCF this year. As far as, recruits out of high school, also coming into that, though, is the transfer portal. We will definitely be getting some people from the transfer portal. The class is down on size a little bit, only 15 total commits, but ranking number 37 out of, how many ever college football teams there are. So I think it was 128, 129, something like that. But anyway, a really good class coming in, one of the best, if not the best, UCF has ever had. Obviously, with the news that UCF is moving into the Big 12 in a couple of years, you would think that the recruiting for that would start now, and it looks like it's starting. Roger, you talked a little bit about Thomas Castanelos earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else here you're excited about?
If we're not talking position groups, I'd say Miguel Maldonado, just because he, he's 6'6", 320 offensive lineman. We need size on offensive line. We've got a lot of folks that we're going to be losing because we've had a veteran offensive line that's played together for a really long time. So just from a sheer size perspective, I'm going to say, Miguel Maldonado. To me, and again, I'm a little biased, offensive line to me is where it starts with an offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, it doesn't matter. And we've got some other guys here, Caden Kittler, Leighton Nelson on offensive line as well. But tall guys with good size that can move. And Miguel Maldonado, for me, is a guy who gets it done that way.
Yeah, 3 offensive linemen on the list there, which we need desperately. Not sure with this year still being the COVID year for a lot of players, getting that 5th year. Some of them still may have it that didn't use a year earlier. So it's just still a weird year as far as knowing who's going to be back and who's not, who's declaring for the NFL draft and who's not, and all that stuff. There are a couple of our offensive linemen for sure that I believe that could go on to the NFL for sure if they wanted to. So, that is one definitely area of concern for next year. We also have, I'm excited probably more than anybody about this Jordan McDonald running back from Alpharetta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. I'm just excited about this guy. He's a big running back as far as, a lot of the guys coming out of high school. He's 6 foot 217. I just think that he has speed for being a big guy like that and can run over a lot of players. The list that he has as far as schools that have offered him is huge. I mean, there's not many teams really that didn't offer him. There's a lot of very good football teams, especially this season, offered him, and I think that says a lot about him. Hopefully we will still be able to grab him on Wednesday. You never know sometimes. College football is a very interesting thing, and it changes every year. Here's what Gus had to say about signing day coming up on Wednesday.
I'm really excited for Wednesday. We got a chance to really, I've been telling this group, they're the foundation for the future for us, the foundation of going to the new conference for us. And, our plans to sign quite a few high school guys. I know right now, philosophy-wise, different coaches, but I feel real strong that you got to have a foundation of the young guys and grow in your program. And then you can mix and match with guys when you need to as far as filling holes. But, that's my philosophy. That's how we're going to build it. I'm sitting there thinking about, 2 years from now, 3 years. And so this is a really, really important signing day for us. And I expect some good news.
All righty. That audio, by the way, and I know a lot of you don't even care, but audio like that sounds like that drives me crazy. I apologize. It was not my audio. That was the audio from UCF. So not good with the 60 cycle buzz in all of it.
I will tell you, I agree with you on Jordan McDonald because he does well between the tackles, and that's what Gus's offense needs, right? Big bodies that can do well between the tackles. He's got a quick first step and good burst, and then he gets going, and it's tough. I mean, Memphis had a lot of success with guys this size, and so did Cincinnati. They had 2 guys that were roughly this size. But 6 foot 217 for a running back, that's a lot of guy to get down if you're an opposing defense. So I agree with you. I think he lines up well with what Gus is trying to do, and I think he'll be a good one for us.
Well, we saw this season when our big back Bowser was healthy, what a big back can do. We've had smaller backs for years, for the last few years anyway, with the speedier offenses, and they were effective in their own way, but they weren't as effective as a guy running up the middle and just running over people and making a defense tired. You saw when Bowser was healthy this year, he could do that. He could change the game and literally wear out that offensive line or defensive line especially. So I think it's hugely important to have a large running back, and Gus has always kind of liked that. So that's an exciting thing. The other person that I'm a little bit excited about, linebacker TJ Bullard from Tampa, Florida. I'm excited about him. Of course, the Henderson Twins from Sanford here. We kind of lost out on a couple of kids from Seminole High School in Sanford last year, which we probably shouldn't have, but this is kind of what happens when you have a new head coach every 2 to 3 years, which doesn't help anything. So I think that the stability of Gus being here is even going to be more important for recruiting. You can see what happened with Cincinnati. Everybody asks me that I talk to about college football. Well, what's the deal with Cincinnati? Can they win the whole freaking thing? Yeah, I think they can win the whole freaking thing. And the reason is because their coach stayed there. The guy has been there for, I don't know how many years now, but
it's 4 years.
Yeah, at least 4 years. But he's gone through a couple of recruiting classes. He's been there. He's got, a couple of fifth year, maybe even 6th-year seniors in there, and he's built a team, and he's built a team with consistency of coaching more than anything else. So, that's the reason why they're doing so well.
And he's done it by, you heard Gus talk about building a fence around Orlando. You hear this stuff all the time. And, Luke Fickell's done that around Cincinnati. Most of his recruits are all from around that Cincinnati and Ohio guys. And if you look at our list, one of the things we've talked about ad nauseum and the fan base has is, why aren't we getting more of these guys at home? But when you look at the list, it's Sanford, Gainesville, Sanford, Orlando, Apopka, Lakeland, Tampa, Miramar, and Lakeland. So, those are all within 45, most of them within 45 to 90 miles of the campus. And that's the vast majority of our list. So, with stability comes the ability to have relationships with high school coaches, and they start believing in your ability to stay. And obviously Gus has made it known that he wants to stay. With his name, I think that helps us long term in the recruiting process.
Absolutely. I mean, who more would you be willing to let you take to the next level? So I'm looking at Cincinnati's class. Yes, they have quite a few from Ohio, but they've also got some kids from Florida. They got a kid from New Jersey, Tennessee, Louisiana, Illinois. I mean, yeah, I will agree with that a little bit. They've definitely got some people from Ohio, but not nearly as many as you would think in their upcoming class. They're ranked number 23. And I still say this has a lot to do with Luke Fickell just being there.
Well, for them, they've got 18 and we've only got 15. So that's why they're ranked higher than what we are. The average star rating is actually, I believe, higher for us than it is for them. So, we add a few more of these folks that, Gus has been out recruiting this past week. We start adding some of those folks that he's been trying to reel in, and that dynamic changes pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get to 23, though, in the class, even with that. But, we've just, the coaches moving on from year to year has really hurt us over time. Gus had to come in here, and it was pretty much signing day. The last signing day when he got hired, I think, last year, right? So it just doesn't help anything. It's hurt us tremendously over the last few years. So good 2 or 3 years of recruiting, and things should get a lot better, in my opinion. So, and we will see who is in that transfer portal as well. There's quite a few good players out there. There's some, obviously, the transfer portal is interesting because everybody thinks that the players, this guy's in the transfer portal, he must be really good. Well, there's other reasons besides being good for being in the transfer portal. There's another reason for being in the transfer portal, that you're not good enough to play on the team that you're transferring from. So, that can be a shot in the dark sometimes as far as getting people from the transfer portal. Anybody in the transfer portal that you think that would fit well at UCF as far as a quarterback?
Well, we talked about this in the break, but Michael Penix is a guy that to be on the lookout for. He was the quarterback at Indiana and led them and really was a dynamic playmaker for them. He's another guy who's a true dual threat and can run with his legs. He's got good size. And I think that could be a holdover. He's a junior. I don't know how that works out.
He has 2 years left.
Yeah. So
he's from Tampa.
6'3", 218.
There you go. That's just what I was saying about the smaller quarterbacks. I'd like to see a bigger quarterback that is bigger. That's the kind of guy that I would like to have. And I've heard that he is, open to talking to UCF and I believe should be in Orlando this week or next week to actually, talk to Gus Malzahn and take a visit to UCF. So that's good. Another guy that has been mentioned a little bit in the UCF circles, and I think that this was more tongue-in-cheek than anything else, Adrian Martinez from Nebraska. I know that he's available, and that was just, more making fun of Scott Frost at Nebraska than anything else. Scott Frost, of course, you all know, left UCF and has failed miserably at Oklahoma, Nebraska. So that's,
and he took Adrian Martinez with him because he wanted him to play here.
Adrian Martinez was a UCF recruit when Scott Frost was here. And then the guy that was up in that just got done at Ole Miss was a UCF recruit as well when Jeff Lebby was here. So, all right, we're going to take another break. We'll be right back on Knightline at Night.
I'm Jeff Allen. Join me each and every week on the Knightline Sports Network for the AAC Report. We bring you in-depth coverage of each school in football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, golf, tennis, and more, as well as bring you insider interviews and focus in on the biggest games and news of the week. That's all right here each week on the AAC Report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
Welcome. This is a promo for the Take a Left at Albuquerque podcast, new to the Knightline Sports Network. You should listen to it. I say things like this.
We need to stop blaming Jerry because we would do the exact same thing if we owned the Dallas freaking Cowboys. Do you know how much fun it is to own the Dallas Cowboys?
My guests will say things sometimes like this.
It's the Lord of the Flies thing that happens when they don't understand that things are wrong, spoiler alert, until Piggy dies.
Lord of the Flies has been out for like 100 years. I don't even know.
Sorry to everyone at home who I spoiled the book for. A book's been out for like 90 years or something.
And sometimes, rarely though, I'll say really stupid things like this. If they don't make it out of the West and the Raptors get to the finals, I will go on either this show or whoever's show and say that Kawhi Leonard is overrated because I have too much evidence of it. New episodes drop every Friday with me and some of my good friends right here on the Knightline Sports Network.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night with you. I'm Andrew Phegley. We're live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law. It's not very often that I mispronounce my own last name, but sometimes the mouth just does not go the way that the brain is telling it to. So we need to do our Tijuana Flats hot take of the week. Tijuana Flats has been an awesome partner with us. We're going to be talking a little bit more about them here in the near future as well. But here is this week's Tijuana Flats hot take of the week. Welcome to the Tijuana Flats hot take of the week. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for takeout or delivery, or visit your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. All right, Tijuana Flats hot take of the week. It is our hot take of the week segment. We used to use it during the football season. We were using it for our score predictions, but now we're actually going back to a complete hot take. So, Roger, what is your hot take for this week?
Okay, so since we have been talking a lot about recruiting, I'm going to go that direction. And so for my Tijuana Flats hot take of the week, I believe UCF will finish with a top 40 recruiting class. The only reason it won't be any higher is because I do believe we take some transfers on. I know we're listed at 37, but it's a long ways to February. So I'm thinking we finish a top 40 recruiting class.
Okay. That's not really that hot, though. That's okay, whatever.
It would be the hottest one or the highest ranking we've ever had. So,
well, I understand that, but okay, whatever. I'm going to go really hot, though, and I'm going to say, something crazy. That's what I think of as a hot take. I think that Quinn Ewers, that is transferring from Ohio State, comes to UCF.
Wow.
That's my hot take. That's a hot take. Something that, obviously, probably won't happen, but you're going to say that it does. And, so that's what I am saying. So it'd be nice. It's probably not going to happen, but, in a hot take, you can say things that, you'll look back on and feel kind of dumb for saying. So it's all good. I was just looking at the top guy on the list, and he's the top guy on the list. So that's why I just couldn't come up with anything else, really. So it is what it is. It's fun to do hot takes. They're hot takes because they probably won't come true. So if you go to Tijuana Flats, though, you'll get even more than a hot take. You will get some incredibly hot sauces that are on their hot sauce bar. My favorite thing in the world, by the way. Roger, what are we looking forward to coming up in UCF athletics besides the bowl game?
For me, I'm looking forward to us playing Michigan. I'd like to see the basketball team is, playing really, really well. They're starting to come in their own. Michigan's a hot team. They're a top ranked team. So I can't wait to see them at home, in the arena.
Okay. Got Temple, FSU, and whatever this one is, North Alabama, coming up before that. So we're looking good for basketball. Basketball now is
6-2.
6-2. Thank you. After the win this last yesterday against North Carolina A&T, Temple coming up on the 15th at 7 p.m. And then FSU on the 18th. University of North Alabama. Is it North Alabama?
It is.
Yeah. Wow. North Alabama. Coming up on the 22nd. So that's pretty much going to do it for us this week. Thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. We will be back at this exact location next week. And we appreciate you listening. Go Knights.
Charge on.